Hello, everyone, and welcome to an early bird edition of Legends of Arcadia Genesis. I am happy to see you all here today, bright and early, and before the Euro final kicks off.
Yep.
We are all cheering, of course, for Italy. No, I'm kidding.
At least one person's cheering for Italy, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's the German on the call. Doesn't know any better.
I haven't said anything. Okay, it's entirely on Nick to start this. I haven't said a single word about who I'm cheering for or anything related. I just want to say that.
Okay.
I'm entirely innocent.
I don't have a leg in this race, but if Italy did win, it would be very funny. It would objectively be funny if they won.
Do you think? Okay.
I do have some Italian heritage, but I just found out they're in the final about 10 seconds ago. So, Italia.
Wait, so you're all spoiling Italy then, basically?
No, I'll be cheering for England.
No,
Okay, good.
most
Nice
people actually don't give a flying fuck, Nick. That's the thing.
Germans are seething.
Of course.
Awesome. So I will cut a little bit of the banter off short, even though I like to get everybody's, life story and history each week. But we'll try to get some game in before we have to run off for kickoff. So for those of you who played before, would any of you, for some experience, like to give us a recap, or would you like me to do it?
I think Nick should do it.
You want Nick to give the recap that I gave him?
Did you do your homework, Nick?
I did my homework. Yeah, I can tell you what you did. Don't worry.
Did you watch the stream?
I didn't watch, but I've just had a recap from the DM himself. But I think it probably makes more sense for somebody else to do it. I could give you a recap about what I was up to.
I can do it. I volunteer, and then Nick can do the gnomish recap.
All right, Faye, go for it.
Okay. So last session, we picked up Hugo, the captain of the guard, at the tents where the circus, was last seen, because he decided to come with us to investigate the incidents that happened at the festivals with the animals being taken over by, a weird spell or something alike. We managed to investigate these circumstances by Rook following footprints into the plains. We found different tracks, some humanoid, some of like a dog or wolf nature, and then also some drag marks somewhere along the way. Eventually, we encountered who we think is responsible for the incident at the festival, which was maybe a cleric of Ponos, maybe some sort of wizard, maybe some cultist of some sort, who quickly disappeared into some sort of rift. And two people who were dressed up as circus people, and we're not entirely sure, but Ren is pretty conspicuous of them maybe also being some sort of cultists. The cleric summoned a sort of red mist before he disappeared, which seems like a very weird and very malicious spell. So we decided to push forward to do some further investigation. When we followed the tracks further, we crossed the river deeper into the plains and found an area that was ankle high in mist that was quite depressing and that was very, very quiet. So the nature in there felt a little bit off. Well, at night during our camp, we got kind of ambushed in a way. I guess the party got split, and while Rook and Koibu were led away from danger by Madrigal, Hugo and Ren got viciously ambushed by an invisible stalker somewhere in the swamp. Some would say it was quite fast, some say it was pretty slow, but in the end, 14 HP were lost on Ren's side. But with the help of Madrigal, Koibu managed to find their companions again, and now they are reunited somewhere in the mists, facing an unknown danger up ahead.
All right. Well done. I promised some XP, so please go ahead and mark into yourself 100 XP for your wonderful review. And so we will pick up the action just where we left off. The little girl, the apparition of Madrigal herself, has left the maybe perhaps a little bit bewildered ranger and wizard behind as you are in the night. Your two collapsed companions with big markings on their throat of a giant hand, bruises, and the promise that you should go find her mythic beast, the unicorn, to help you clear this mist. What do you do?
I think Rook and Koibu are sharing those puzzled expressions.
Uh-huh.
What's your strength, Koibu?
Metaphorically or literally?
Literally.
10.
We might need to invent some sled technology.
Yeah.
We're sort of looking back and forth, taking stock of everything just occurred.
If you want to
Just
invent sled
proceeding.
technology, you need to have at least like a year's worth of research, right, Neal?
Yeah.
Oh, and you wouldn't argue for that, would you, Neal? That would be unrealistic.
Some things will just never be let go, will they?
7 months.
We all got the
case,
shirt,
Brad.
so it brought up old
Oh, yeah.
memories.
No sled on the shirt, so
I realized I saved the shirt to wear it on stream, and then my camera is always so like tight on my face that no one knows what shirts I wear.
You just have to get up a bunch.
stream like that.
It's gotta stretch.
Go buy your fur shirts today, everyone.
Yes, do it. Okay.
Hashtag merch.
So we are standing here in the darkness, looking down at our unconscious companions.
Yes.
How
Didn't we end last session in front of a big earthen maw, like a big cave?
no.
So
Well,
you found
it's
the big
around.
cave inside the like yawning mouth of
Yeah.
the skull, and you stepped away from it some distance, and the mist came and covered over you, and it visited you with visions
Okay.
of your own suffering. And as you were led out of the mist, you are very conspicuously not where you were before.
Gotcha.
The mist fills this river valley on the other side, but you have been led past and out of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we were camping at the maw, which is presumably the cultist's lair. But then the invisible
right.
stalkers came and party got downed, and we fled
Stalkers are
across the
always
river.
invisible.
So we're like, looks like 10 miles away or something from
Okay. Well,
that
I guess
lair.
I look at Rook and I give a half-hearted shrug. I guess we could just stand around.
I'll kneel down and take stock of our companions if we haven't already. I think we're days from them recovering if they survive this at all. We need to get them back to some medical attention.
We're in a
We should
river
probably
valley,
wait
right?
until morning. But what's that?
We're in a river valley, right? So there's a river nearby.
We just crossed a river.
Yeah.
Like in the mist, I think we were wading through water or something,
So
and then we came to on the other side of the river.
So it seems to me like we can either leave them here or try and transport them. If the water's not too cold, we could just float their bodies down the water and steer them like a something. But I don't know where this river leads, so that might not be a great idea.
Does not lead back to steep water, so that is not a great idea. No.
Steep water. Let's go there by floating the bodies. That's a brilliant idea. What could go wrong?
I'm sorry, unconscious person. What do you have to say?
Nice.
Either way, I don't think we're going to get far in this darkness. So let's collect ourselves and wait until morning. Maybe dry out our socks. And,
All right.
Well,
you
I-
hunker down and try to find a night's sleep.
I don't know if we're going to find a night's sleep.
Okay.
I think we're going to be on high alert. Like I'm not
Mm.
expecting recovery. I don't want to be like penalized for travel tomorrow, but I think we're just going to kind of wait it out until daybreak.
Okay.
Maybe nap and like sleep in shifts and snatches, but
If there's
Absolutely.
any cover to be found, I'd like to move us near it. You know, at least have like a bush or a tree or large grass or a hill or something
You're
nearby.
mostly out in these kind of grasslands, but you do your best to find maybe a like small boulder or a large stone and some high grasses. And drag yourselves there.
Something that can like at least block line of sight from one angle would be nice.
You spend the night near this like strange mist that covers the land to your west on the other side of the river. You hear the sounds of, beasts and other things out in the plains, but nothing comes to molest you. Your sleep is furtive and is, short at best. But eventually morning comes. You see the streaks of light reaching up over the mountains. Or I guess in your case, the east would be like over the coast and the plains. And it is morning once again. Your companions are still unconscious, and you see now, the clear signs of the physical distress that they went through in the morning's light.
I think at like first light, I will do my best to see to them. I have no relevant healing skills aside from survival. So I don't know, using the river water and whatever materials we have at hand. Dressing the wounds as best as possible. And maybe scavenging for, there's probably no like wood or materials to build like a litter or a sled.
Well, maybe one of them has a med kit in one of their bags.
It's a med kit.
I don't know. Let's take a look. I want to look through their stuff.
All right, you begin rifling through the possessions of your acquaintance, the great Hugh. Hugh, what is on your body?
Weapons and armor. If you need any javelins or splint mail or an arming sword or a medium shield, I have those, and I have literally nothing else on me.
What does this guy even eat? Jesus.
I didn't bring any rations. I was
moving this body over here. What about this other one? What do you got?
Your friend Ren, what do you have on you?
Well, Ren has her armor. She has a shield. She has a scimitar. She has a bunch of walnuts, a water skin, a backpack, some other assorted spell components. And she does indeed have some like basic healing supplies, but no healing kit, not as in, or just put the potion on, you're going to be fine.
Well, I'll take a look at some of
bandages.
I'll take a look at the bandages and see if there's an injured person that needs them applied to them. If it's like physical injuries or if they're psychic injuries, I guess I can't apply bandages to that. And then, I'll split the walnuts with Rook.
No, thank you. Rook is watching disdainfully and making a mental note to never fall unconscious around Koibu.
Just trying to help him out. Don't give me such dirty looks. Jesus.
I'll be scavenging for if there's any like bushes or trees in the vicinity that we could use to make like a crude sled.
Do you have some kind of proficiency with scavenging or foraging?
Oh, probably not.
Okay. Then
I have
I would
survival, but I'm in the wrong.
You're in the wrong area. Yeah. Why don't you give me an unproficient foraging check, and we will call it good. I will use your wisdom for foraging without looking it up, because that sounds about right to me.
I don't think foraging is a thing. Survival is int, but wisdom seems appropriate. They're both within a couple of points, so I'll take half of my wisdom. Is that what we're saying?
Half of your, that's what we've been doing.
Oh,
21
just barely.
Very nice.
So if there are any trees or sticks,
absolutely. You find some small trees out in the plains that are nice and dry and easy to cut. You can find small branches and sticks as much as you would like, as well as some of those berry bushes that Ren had collected little small berries from before. They are bitter and they are not very nutritious in their form, but they are berries.
Somehow these don't taste as good as they did earlier. Kind of suck. These aren't even ripe, Fred. Or, Rook.
You can forage for your own food.
I got some walnuts, it's fine.
Can I maybe like just interject with just like a quick scene as to what Noman's up to whilst Koibu's digging through the...
Absolutely.
Yeah, so the camera zooms out from the plains
Yeah.
of the camp where they're eating, bitter berries and rifling through the belongings of their unconscious companions. And we zoom back in on a nice little cozy cottage, the nice bright garden. And there's a really tiny little sun lounging chair. You see Noman kicked back in a towel, drinking a beer. And then from behind him out of the house comes, in a very skimpy silk nightdress, like a very buxom gnome lady, who comes up to him with some nice fresh grapes on a little vine and like hands him the grapes. And he's like, oh, thank you. Has a little berry and she walks off back in the side of the house and he stares at her ass as she goes. And then we can cut back to the
Definitely his loser
party.
A very needed interjection. I like it. Really livening up the game there. Very nice.
So ignoring Koibu's criticism, and useless bickering, Rook drags all these branches and sticks back and attempts to lash them together with grasses or like our scraps of fabric, bandages that he looted from Ren, and just try to make something that I can lay the bodies on and carry between us or drag between us.
Absolutely. It's rough and,
we probably pile the two bodies onto one sled and just strap them together and drag them between the two of us. And we'll move back to town at movement rate 3 or whatever we can manage. We can probably do that in 2 days or something, but we'll see.
Absolutely. You do exactly that and begin your long trek back to town with your makeshift little raft. The plains themselves are rather conspicuously empty of enemies or other, strange goings on. It is probably going to be late in the first day of you dragging your sleds behind you. And let's see, who is it that notices this? Oh, it's the wizard. It seems that perhaps Rook is taking maybe the brunt of pulling this sled behind him, and the Koibu character is just off in his own head a little bit. But you notice kind of a small strange going on as you're making your way back to town. There are cloaked and hooded men in furs to the east of where you're traveling, and as you watch them, the three of them seem to be stopping and looking at the ground, and they have what appears to be like some kind of chalk, reddish in nature, and they're marking X's upon the ground and then moving on. They have not noticed you as they are all consumed in the work that they are doing.
Rook sees this, yeah?
Koibu. Focus. Give me a hand here.
Yes? I don't... Maybe... Look over there. Psst, look.
I, set the sticks down, the makeshift handles. I'm, struggling to, get the litter over a rock
Just
or
put
something.
it down.
Koibu's staring off into the distance.
Stop. Put it down.
What is it? And I look and I
what
see
do you make
these
of
figures
this?
in the distance. Suddenly get my wits about me and crouch low in the grasses, hoping to avoid their notice if it's not too late. Do these figures appear to have spotted us yet?
They have not spotted you. They are traveling together, kind of in a cluster, the three of them and their furs.
Are they moving, or are they? You said they were like.
They stop for a
drawings. They
moment
look like they're
and
drawing
consider
something.
the ground. They talk. They mark a small
this-
X with their chalk, and then they move on another
They're-
25 feet before considering again.
They're marking something. What witchcraft is this? Rook
What was-
begins stringing his bow.
What was the size of these creatures?
They are humanoid. They look about the size of an average man.
Okay. Roughly human size. How many weapons do we count on them?
As you look, you don't see anything that sticks out to you as a weapon. They are cloaked in furs. Maybe the furs still maintain the claws or teeth that they once had, but you don't see a cudgel or a sword or anything else of note upon them.
They don't look dangerous. Maybe they can give us a hand. Do you want to maybe sleeping around
marking?
to somewhere with a good angle on them, and I'll come from the other side, and if they cause trouble, then you open fire with the bow?
Did yesterday teach you nothing? Just because they have no weapons doesn't mean they aren't dangerous.
That's why I said you
Are these-
sleep into one side, I go to the other. We have them in between the two of us. If something goes wrong, you provide supportive cover. They won't know where it's coming from. I
Are
can
you
handle
sure they're not
myself with the sword.
cultists?
They might
Can't
be.
face down another of those mists.
There's only 3 of them, right? And there's 2 of us.
I like those odds.
Look, if they're bad guys, if they're gonna be dangerous, then we should clearly leave them alone, but they could be helpful.
Yeah.
They might not be
Glances
cultists.
To the unconscious companions.
They'll be
Shrug,
fine. We
satisfied
can't live
with
our lives
the,
in fear.
Yeah, with the ditch that he's leaving them in, hidden behind these grasses, and he begins stealthing
Okay.
to flank the.
All
these
right.
guys.
I'll give you a-
ditching Koibu. It's in my interest to be
Yeah.
away from him so that I
Yeah.
can stealth.
I will give
I
him
have
a.
some chance to move silently in natural settings.
Absolutely. Give me your chance to move silently.
I'll roll a D100 and then I'll look it up.
All right.
45. Actually, that's borderline. I think that's a fail, but let me double check.
I will let
Move
him.
silently tends to start at 25, I think.
Yeah, let's see.
I will let him move silently away for a count of 100 before
Yeah.
I schleifen in the other direction and get their attention.
All right. You begin working your way to the other side, away from where you saw your companion slink off into the grasses, and you get their attention. How do you get their attention, Koibu?
Once I feel like they are between me and Rook, I will pop up out of the grasses as just like a normal person and walk in their direction. And if they look up at me, give them a friendly wave with one hand. Actually, I guess with my right hand, I'll wave at them.
All right. As you approach, you get way closer than I think you expect, Koibu, before anyone notices you. They're huddled together, discussing something in a tongue you don't quite understand. And then you get within, I don't know, 10 or 15 feet, real close, before one of them looks up in surprise. Whoa! Hello there.
Hello.
Did not expect to see a traveler out here.
How are you?
Concerned. Are you alone? Is he alone? Rook, how well did you hide?
That is a fail. I'm still stealthily flanking them from the other direction.
I think he says.
Yeah.
I think he says, "Are you alone?" And then one of the other members kind of tugs on his furs and points. Says, yes.
Yeah. At this point, Rook stands up from the other side, bow in hand. He's got an arrow in it, but it's pointed at the ground for now, and he's sizing them up, realizing they're human and they don't appear to be armed.
They do not appear to be armed. No, the one that had spotted you kind of gives you that wave, "Come on over," and the other continues talking to you. Koibu says, "It is good that you are not alone. Still, this is dangerous times for two to be traveling."
Which is all the while I'm here to talk to you. We've got some wounded friends, and we were wondering if maybe you could help us. Do one of you happen to be a healer? A cleric of some kind? I'd take a witch doctor? Or a
They look
spooky
around.
woman with a rat on a stick?
We don't usually help the city folk.
He's a wilderness folk. I'm the only city folk here.
The fur-clad people seem to consider for a moment, once again, in their kind of odd language that you can't quite catch.
So they have a different language?
Yes.
I'm kind of like, have I encountered these people before?
Are you familiar with the druids of the plains?
Not of the plains, but the fact that they're clad in furs, which can they get furs in the plains, or are they trading with?
They got to trade their apple bottom jeans for them.
Maybe even with me to get these furs. Not definite, but there's an off chance. I don't have any sort of social skills to speak of. But
what is your charisma?
Oh, awful! Like,
but what is the number? What is the number?
It's 6. I'm glad you didn't roll a reaction check on them encountering us when I was sneaking up on them.
All right, so I'm going to give you what I call a circles roll. I've stolen this from a completely different game, not Dungeons and Dragons. Your circles number will be 6. I'm going to just D&Dify it a little bit so I don't freak everybody out. So what I will do is give you roll plus your circles, so D20 plus 6, and 21 will be a success, and you can name whether or who these characters are and how you know them.
Oh, barely. Yeah, so I'm not even sure who they are. Well, I guess with a success, I can say that I've encountered them before, or at least I'm aware of their tribe. And I think what cues me off is they're clad in these furs that are like definitely not from the plains. Like maybe they're druids of the plains, but they've had to, either them or some of their kin have traded with me to get these furs at some point in the past.
All right.
So I will like let my bow go slack and approach them, recognizing them as if not friends, at least companions.
Allies. Yeah, absolutely.
Not companions, at least allies or something. And I guess these are the druids of the plains, are they not?
Indeed. Or at least some of them.
Yeah. You are druids of these plains. I have traded with members of your kin in the past. One of our fallen companions is a druid of the forest and in dire need of medical attention.
Indeed. We've heard of you. You are Rook, yes? We thank you for your kind trade. Come then, we shall abandon what we are doing for now. We cannot leave a companion of ours to suffer, even if she comes from those strange woods. And they will follow you to your companions.
Thank you so much for offering to help out. We really appreciate it. What was it that you were doing, by the way, with the chalk? I'm a
Can you not
dabbler.
Feel it? The land, it cries. Something terrible is coming.
Oh yeah, something terrible already came. Something terrible's coming up soon. The whole place is a mess. But that doesn't explain what you were doing.
You're marking the point at which the world cries. Come, I will explain later. Let me tell you.
I have a direction sensibility. Can I line up the direction they're chalking and try to triangulate it back to the cave that we came from?
Is there a role associated with direction sense?
I believe no. I think it's just you know which way north is.
You know which way north is?
It might be appropriate to roll it to see if I can. I'm not trying to figure out where north is. I think you're using it in a
non-traditional kind of way.
I'm trying to figure out which direction their course they're tracking and see if it. My hunch is that it might line up back to that cave that we came from.
I think I won't make you roll for that. It seems not only very likely, but it seems to your eye as a ranger and as someone proficient with direction, it does seem to line up quite well with the direction you are coming from.
Mm-hmm. All right.
While he's doing that, I want to just kind of take a quick glance at one of these markings they're making on the ground. Do I recognize any of these symbols?
They are a druidic symbol. So do you have the ability to read or write or comprehend druidic?
Oh, no way.
Ordinarily, you just assume he didn't, but with skills and powers, he could have bought it.
Yeah, I know, right? He could do anything. Who
Well-
knows what Koibu's capable of?
I do have reading and writing, and I do have precise memory. So even
So
if
the
I can't,
next
like,
time you see this symbol,
yeah,
The
I
next
want to
time
take
you would
a
see the
good
symbol,
moment so that I can
yeah.
reproduce them, and then when Ren is awake, I'm gonna like try and duplicate it and pick her brain to see
Absolutely.
what's going on.
You lead them to your companions, and they will kind of murmur amongst themselves in a bit of surprise, seeing the state that they're in. The druid that you're speaking to will lean down and cast a Cure Light Wounds upon the fallen druid, immediately recovering you. A grand total of 4 hit points. Kind of a shitty roll.
I think it actually doesn't matter, right? If you're below
It's just
0,
one-
any healing magic
just go up to 1,
just
yeah.
stabilizes you.
That
brings
is
you to 1.
correct. Yes. That is a rule, and my brain just jumped right over it. You take the Cure Light Wounds, and you come up to 1. So Ren, you are awakened magically by this like druid kind of kneeling over you. And the other 2 will go about offering mundane ministrations to the fallen Hugh.
Fair enough.
I think I lost all my spells as well, right? That's what happens when you fall unconscious.
That
is
So I
correct.
guess I'll just come to, and I'll squint through a very exhausted eye at the people who just healed me, and I'll just say, well, where am I?
You're safe,
You're
Ren.
dead.
No, shut up.
This is the afterlife.
You're safe. Save your
I mean-
energy. We're in the company of your companions, cousins of the plains.
I'll look
Druids,
over
yes.
to the druids, and I'll like
It's the afterlife.
I'll make a like with a weak hand. I'll make a little symbol, and I'll say, Nanuk Patash Katanai. I did not.
Definitely understand that, but
I
Craig
did
does
not.
It means
it's
now we
fine.
must do battle.
Exactly.
Druid Fight Club.
I said I was looking for you.
You have found us.
I'll look over. Is Hugo around? Like, is he lying next to me on a different
Yeah, he's
cart?
being tended to by
There was just one cart.
companions.
Your bodies have been piled.
We're
on
like
top of each
piled
other
up.
for the last
Okay,
8 hours.
I'll carefully roll like away from him, and I'll have a look at him, and I'll say, what happened to him?
He is.
You don't
He was
know.
strangled.
We were separated
like
in
you
the
were.
mist. What happened to you?
Well, I was right in the assumption that this was not a will-o-wisp. I was wrong in the direction I still walked.
Oh, did you go towards the light? Oh, never
I
go towards
mean-
the light.
Welcome, Ren, to the rest of your death.
Oh my God, Koibu. God.
Well, all I know is it was definitely the wrong direction to walk into. How did you guys get out? Did you not get surprised by whatever that was?
Oh, we were surprised. Yeah, we got out through no credit of our own. Madrigal intervened and guided all of us safely out of the mist.
Excuse me. Is that some sort of metaphor? I'm not sure I understand.
No,
she
the goddess
literally
herself
appeared to
in
us.
the avatar of a child.
Yeah, it was kind of creepy at first. Thought she was here to kill us. Turns out she was here to help us.
Are you sure that was Madrigal?
No.
Okay, well, I think I'm gonna think about this.
She guided us
while-
to you, and I look over at Sean's character.
Hugo?
Yeah, I know his name, but I don't know. I look back to the druids. Are they still around?
Yeah, they're finishing up their mundane ministrations, making sure to give adequate care to Hugo.
I'll go bother them and ask them if their ministrations will allow him to be mobile.
Not today. Not today.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. I know you woods folk don't use money or anything like that, but can we get some food from you? We can trade. I have things to trade. I don't know if
Don't you
like
dare
any
trading
of them.
away my walnuts, my dude.
I have.
The druids kind of appraise you for a moment, and they.
I have this gnome-sized cloak. Belonged to a great wizard gnome named Zephyr.
The druid kind of pats you on the shoulder. Says, "Do not worry. We do not need your mundane items. We will, of course, give you what we can." And they pull out some like stanky dried meat and some like hard like cheeses that are just in their pouches. Share with you some rations to eat.
Thank you, strange druid folk. We are deeply appreciative of your aid.
Where were you headed?
We follow the cry of the land.
Were they walking towards us or away from us?
Towards.
Okay. We may be able to save you some time once our companions are mobile. It appears to me you are walking, albeit slowly, directly where we came from. In that direction, maybe a day or two's walk, is a cave, a scar in the earth, a maw that belches forth a foul mist that strangled our companions and corrupted
Brave
the creatures of this land.
Brave tidings.
2 days ago, we encountered an enraged owlbear and a trio of cats.
We have
Cursed
seen
by-
creatures afflicted such as this. It was the first sign of things going wrong.
Well, I think we will park it here until Hugo wakes up. If you want to wait with us, maybe we can help you out. Or if you want to go on your own.
We must be on our way.
Can I get your names? Just so I know who to thank in my prayers tonight.
Yes, this one here. He is Jarvis. We are Tiger Lily and Hugh. Our name generator table was very unforgiving to Tiger Lily.
Well, thank you, Jarvis, Hugh, and Tiger Lily. We'll, say a nice word to you, to the gods.
As I was saying, about 2 days walk that way, and I'll point was it east by southeast? At the place between the rivers in a crook in the hills, there is a cave. I think this is the source of the malevolence that you sense.
We must investigate this. Please, be safe. And with that, the strange druids walk off, finding their, markings upon the ground, and then continuing their kind of slow shuffle, marking away with chalk.
Well, Rook, looks like we did it. We saved the party.
Shakes his head.
You know what we get when we save the party? A reward. And I pull out some walnuts and hand it to Rook.
What do you pull out?
Walnuts. It's delicious.
Those are Ren's walnuts.
Where did you get these?
Your
You
bag?
looted your corpse while you were unconscious. What time of day is it?
This would have been past noon, but
So
still
I
with
think I
life
may
left.
have time to attempt to hunt for some small game or something.
Mhm.
Maybe herb.
You are free to hunt as you wish. The druids will have shared with you some hardtack and rations to satisfy your need for food
Considering
for the
we're
day.
probably gonna hang out here,
Mhm.
I might as well.
Okay.
give it a shot. I'll just roll a hunting check, I guess. I don't know how many of these I get in a day, but I don't think it's no luck. But
All right.
I wander away from our makeshift camp for a few hours and come up empty.
All right. You wander away for a few hours and come up empty. The rest of the day will pass rather peacefully. And in the morning, Hugh, you will wake up with 1 HP.
I had the strangest dream.
I put a hand on your shoulder. It was no dream, Hugh. Welcome to the afterlife.
Oh, stop it. Will you
You were
stop it?
cartwheeling over the plains naked then, Koibu?
No. Those were visions of hell.
Ren is like leaning over Hugo, and she still has this nasty, mark around her neck, and she'll say, how are you feeling?
As though somebody choked the life out of me.
I really think next time we should be practicing some of those arm bars. So if you're up for it, I mean, not today, but maybe tomorrow,
Perhaps breaking grapples would be good.
Yeah, sounds like an excellent idea.
So you don't look like you can really go very far today, Hugh. Can you?
I believe if it's natural healing, I'm just back, but at 1 HP.
Yeah.
I will give him an arm to help him up and see if he's is it ambuable?
Ambulatory.
Ambulatory. Thank you, Ryan.
Interestingly, I felt a bit shaky when I first woke up, but now I feel like I could run like an Olympic sprinter.
Good man. Good man. I pat him on the ass.
I mean, I've also had one night of does it count as one night of good sleep and I get spell this? Nice one,
Yes.
Neal, very nice. And I get spells, right? So I
Yes.
could, and he's reached 1 HP, so I could apply some healing to him as well.
Yes. Yes, you
Sports
can.
thing. It's not a
Did
sexual
we get 1
harassment thing.
HP from last night as well?
Yes, the not Ren, but Koibu and Rook would gain natural healing.
Alright. So
So-
I guess.
By Madrigal's grace, we escaped from what I assume is the cultist's lair. Now we need to decide where we're going next. We go back into the maw or return to our village and our woods.
Well, I would really like to go check out that earthen maw. But discretion is the better part of valor. Ren, you don't have any magical healing in you, do you?
I'm currently working on it. I'm trying to find my walnuts. They were supposed to be in my backpack somewhere.
I reach into my bag and hand you the 3 remaining walnuts, or however many there are.
Thank you. That's very kind. I didn't know you carried some of those.
Full
That's very nice
disclosure,
of you.
these are your walnuts. I got hungry.
Oh. Well, I mean, you can replace them anytime, really.
With
Okay,
these, and I
so-
pull out some broken shells.
No, that's not how it works, but thank you. So I'm going to roll some healing for... I guess you go first. I have 3 spell slots level 1. So that's 1, 2, and then I'm going to give my 1 to myself.
Oh my.
Nice.
Yeah, so you get up to 7.
up
I
to
go up
7.
to 9.
All right. So, in the morning, do you continue pushing on to steep water?
Oh, now that we're all up, we can discuss.
All right.
The druids of the plain are aware of this blight on the land. Perhaps it is no longer our responsibility.
Responsibility is something you choose to take for yourself. It was never our responsibility. We chose this path because we wanted to be responsible for it. That hasn't changed for me. I have no reason to abdicate our journey just because somebody else could do it. I mean, we could just disappear from the earth and people could still do all the things. Life would continue. Are you getting cold feet? You getting a little scared? Close brush with death?
I look to Hugo and Ren.
We will, if we're going to pursue it, we'll need to find some way to combat that strange magical mist.
Perhaps the mist only comes out at night. Although considering the power of that mist, I suspect even darker things inside the cave.
Did you mention the job that Magical offered you as well? The hunt the beast.
Oh, she wanted us to get oh yeah.
Yeah, there was this.
Magical mentioned a unicorn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a
Ren,
unicorn.
Do you know where to find such a creature? Does it even exist?
Yeah, they do exist, but they are very special.
Did she tell us to? What did she say to do, Clue? Did she tell us to befriend a unicorn, murder a unicorn, and bring
Magical told you
Don't
that
kill the unicorn. You befriend the unicorn. No one's ever. You only. And you call yourself a woodsman.
Well, killing them is faster.
So
not in case of a unicorn.
Magical said in response to Koibu's question that she would like whatever this is in the cave dealt with. And in order to do so, she asks that you find her favored beast, the unicorn. It has been captured into in the area to the north. And if you act as true heroes, the unicorn will gladly part with its horn, inside of which the magic to dispel this mist will be. And so you can reach
That's
this
what it
place.
was. I knew we had to get the horn somehow. Freely given,
But
or
if you find the unicorn and murder it and steal its horn, like that might not be heroic, but will get the job done.
I may lose my ranger powers if we do something. Yeah.
So let's go find ourselves one of these unicorns.
Yeah, this seems to take precedent over the Lord of the Town's daughter's poor choice in partners.
Don't victim blame, Rook. I know you've been out in the woods for a long time, but you can't always tell when someone's going to be abusive.
Sympathy for her plight, but that doesn't make it the problem of the whole town that she's got a deadbeat ex-boyfriend who cursed her with a dryad scorn.
Amen. Upper classes, bad boyfriend. All of a sudden the whole town's out and about. You know how many people have bad boyfriends in this life and don't get anyone to go save them or rescue them over this shit? Social elites, man. All right, let's go find a unicorn so we can powder this princess's nose or whatever we're doing.
To take on this kind of wilderness, Rook, or do we travel back and...
Well, apparently Koibu and Hugo travel without food or water. So no, I don't think we're well equipped.
No, I could definitely do with going back to town. Okay. I was simply doing an investigation when you all dragged me out across the plains.
What? We were on our... You voluntarily tagged along.
He was voluntold. It happens. But yeah, let's get back to town. Let's get some proper supplies for this thing. If we're going to go inside a cave, we're going to need lanterns or torches or something. We're going to need shit. Mm-hmm. So I agree. Torches, let's do a quick resupply trip. Yeah.
Back at your full movement rate, you push through the plains and are able to come upon the outskirts of Steepwater, closing in about noon time. As you do so, you find yourself traveling back through the rounded up carnival that is still being held in place by the town guardsmen that Hugo left in charge. And as you make your way through, a familiar face can be found chatting away with a familiar gnome as well. Two familiar gnomes, in fact, are having a nice little chat as you are making your way back through the carnival.
I whisper to Ren that I'm gonna go check on my dogs, and she can find me there. I fail to stealth away, but I conspicuously circle all the long way around the carnival.
Noted.
I imagine.
I suppose I should release the carnival. I don't think we have any reason to hold them any longer.
But Rook, tiptoeing very obviously. Is that what you're?
I was gonna say, Rook goes to tiptoe off, and it's just crunch, crunch, snap of this branch, moving this giant thing.
I too imagine he's running from tree to tree, and he thinks he's being stealthy, but I just kind of sees him occasionally running between the gaps.
I take a deep breath, and I guess I will slowly approach the gnomish commotion to see what this is all about.
Yeah, you see Nomon and Limerick. I guess you never got Limerick's name. Chatting away in their little kind of gnome speak. They seem to be discussing a particular barmaid that seems to know quite well.
Quite well.
I think as Rook tries to sneak away and fails his stealth check, oh, okay, there they are now. I turn around.
There they are indeed.
There's Rook and Coibs.
How can they see me? I'm one
guys,
with nature.
Come over, where have you been? I was looking for you.
Nomamon, how's it going?
Hey, Coibs. It's going okay. I had a really good days. I was looking for you though, and I couldn't find you.
We had to leave without you. We went on the adventure.
What?
You missed it.
Dan, how was the adventure, huh?
We ran into a goddess. We were pulled onto another plane of existence. People almost died. Then we met these weird druids who were marking the earth with chalk, and there was this mystic cave, and we talked to Madrigal. She told us to go find a unicorn. It was amazing. It was a one-of-a-kind life experience. I can't believe you missed it.
I can't believe I missed it either.
What were you doing?
You were doing that.
I don't know if I trust them, Nomon. They're full of shit. These people, they're not like you. They're not reliable like you.
Me and Limerick, we were solving the mystery.
Yeah, it's
what happened at the carnival?
What happened to it?
These four guys, they were bad guys,
Yeah.
And, they signed up with the carnival at the last minute.
Yeah.
And we searched the bodies, and there were 4 people missing. And they were attending to the animals right before the thing happened. And 2 of them have escaped following those. They went those tracks. I don't know if you tracked them down, but the other 2 we captured. And turns out they're part of some cult.
Yeah, we found them. We found the cultists. That must be the people that we were trailing. Wonderful.
But wait,
are they still alive?
Kronos. They are.
Yeah,
Kronos, the goddess of suffering.
Yeah,
what did you guys find out there?
I told you. 2 of us almost died. We saw a deity in the presence of a small child who told us to go get a unicorn. We're just here to pick up some supplies before we head back out into the wilderness. And,
well, listen.
The name of the.
I'll come with you, but before we go, Coibs, I need you to meet my girlfriend. I really like her, Coibs. We spent a few days together. That's why I wasn't there. Because I was hanging out at hers.
Right. You were looking for the carnies. Is she a carny?
Yeah. Well, no, she's a barmaid.
But okay. Woo.
I spent my entire life stealing things, but now it's something of mine that's been stolen. Belinda, she's stolen my heart.
Oh, buddy. Okay. Well, come on. Introduce us.
All right. Rook, you want to come? Rook. You want to come?
He's checking out the dogs. He's being really stealthy. Don't look at him.
Okay.
Just look away.
I asked the druid.
Oh man, if only I could do a really good Rick voice for Melinda.
I guess Ren will say, I really hope you've learned your lesson since your last girlfriend, because from what I've heard, that one didn't go too well.
No,
the one burning your clothes and all of that.
She's totally different. She's perfect.
Totally.
So I lead you into the tavern. I go through the tiny little gnome door, but you guys have to go through the bigger, the larger door.
Oh, there's a door for the gnomes and door for normal size.
Of course. Well, it's just it's within the larger door, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So he opens the little door, and then we just open the bigger door around
like
it.
A small door built into
So it's like you walk through and then I open the real door.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. I thought there's two
sizest
next
of
to each
you.
other, but that makes a lot more sense that the doors are inside of it. It's like where the dog comes in and then you walk in, right? So it's like
It's the rushing
gotcha.
nesting dolls of doors. Gnomish nesting doors. There we go. The thing.
So you come into the bar, and it's hustle and bustle, I imagine. But behind the bar, she must be standing on some little stool or something because you can see her over the bar, but she's only small. The most beautiful gnome you've ever seen. Long, flowing red hair.
Give me a hotness roll, Greg.
No, it's
All
gotta be.
right, sure.
She's
Okay.
an illusion, isn't she?
I want
Isn't it
to.
just 18 hotness?
I want 2d6 plus 6. I want 2d6 plus 6.
Oh
17
my
hotness.
god!
Yes.
The gnome is a
Look at
flame
that.
show. She just takes your breath away, Koibu.
Hold on, bro. Gnomon, hold on. I don't know who your girlfriend is, but look at that gnome over across the table. you gotta step it up.
That's her. That's her.
No. I mean that one over there, the hot one.
I go over to Belinda and give her a peck on the cheek.
Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, you go to give her a peck on the cheek, and she turns and kisses you full in the mouth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What is this world
yeah.
coming to? This guy
turn
can
back
get a
around.
hot girlfriend, and I'm single? What is going on?
yeah, I wonder.
I walk back with
Baby,
a swagger.
what's up?
Oh,
You know I'm working, right?
Yeah, sure. I just introduced my friends to you.
Oh,
But,
hello.
We're going to save the town. I'm going to be gone for a few days.
Oh, my hero.
I know.
You be careful
know.
out there.
I will.
Hello,
too
ma'am. I'm
careful.
this man's closest thing to a friend that he's got. And before we can make this official, you have to pass the friend test.
Oh. And what is the friend test?
1 beer, please.
Successfully passed.
Sure. And she pours you a beer and slides it over.
So far, you're good in my book. And I'll have a seat and have a sip.
I'm good in everyone's book. Thank you very much.
So I sit there smugly, and you see Gnome when he's got like a little like book that he's writing in. You can't see what he's writing, but he seems to be like writing little verses and like scribbling them out, and then writing new things.
Buddy, are you writing poetry?
Close the book and say, "So what if I am? None of your business."
No, it is none of my business.
It's a little bit rough. I show you the first one. Hair like flame, and supple skin. Your naughty walls. I want to be in. I scratch it out. It's like, that's
Hey, don't scratch that out. That was beautiful.
really okay.
Yeah.
I rewrite it. I rewrite it below
was
and
good.
put a circle around it.
That wasn't quite the rhyming poetry I expected.
Listen, you've got to make do with what you've got.
That was an honest expression of love. That came from the heart. You can tell.
Dude.
You know, it might be a little bit
Dude.
crass, but it was true and honest to who you are, and that's good poetry, man.
Thanks, Clips.
You know, love and lust are not necessarily the same thing, yeah?
I do, I know, but she stole my heart, Ren. It's never been like this before for me.
Well, I hope you enjoy it. I'll gently pat him on the shoulder.
Good for you, buddy. So few of us manage to find love in this world. It can be tough.
For you, maybe.
What was that?
Sorry, there was no need for that. I'm sorry.
That was. I thought we were having a moment, man.
No, we are. I'm sorry.
Right.
But yeah, I'll.
Hey.
Maybe we can hang out here.
Hey, Greg, while this is going on, is there a cleric of Madrigal in town?
There is not.
There's not.
There is a generalist cleric.
Okay.
And you would have maybe met her, maybe not. She is in a kind of central generalist temple that is available to all worshippers. She is kind of widely known through town. The rest of the party definitely saw her when she came to care for Jasmine in the Lord's Manor. But you would know. Oh, I can't remember their names.
Hold up, I probably have it written down somewhere. Give me a second.
Yeah. I mean, so we don't know exactly where the unicorn's at, right? Like we were given a vague concept of like go around this general region has a unicorn, go make friends with it.
So you would know Florette. She's the generalist head cleric of the temple. Florette is often called upon by the Lord of Steepwater for clerical service, but you would know her more as a grandmotherly woman who dresses plainly with a pendant with the generalist symbol hanging from her neck. And she is often patiently willing to dole out advice to any who come to the temple and ask her of it.
Sure. Yeah, I'll go speak to her.
All right. Absolutely. You'll find Florette in the temple. Along the way, you must pass through kind of the center of town. You will notice that the stockades are full. And in fact, you find a very depressed looking Drexel held in the stockade, rotten veg thrown at his face.
Oh, no.
You probably have less, animosity towards him, but he doesn't seem to recognize you. Slowly blithering to himself as you walk by. Eventually, you make your way to the Generalist Temple in the center of town, set up as all Generalist temples are in the Koibu universe, with many different statues in their respective circles around. And Florette is there, giving small sermons and speaking with people who would be asking her advice and whatnot.
Yeah, I'll wait for an opportunity to speak with her alone, I guess, if she's doling out advice.
Absolutely. You wait a few moments. Eventually, her time opens up, and you have your opportunity.
I'll say, "Greetings, Mother. I have a bit of a strange request for you today. I've come seeking information on myths and legends."
Oh, myths and legends, my child. Well, they're few and far between, but I will be happy to answer what I can.
We traveled the plains recently and came across something rather frightening. A scar in the earth, a cave tied to the god Ponos, spreading corruption and pestilence across the land. But we were rescued by an aspect of a friendlier deity, Madrigal, who also charged us with finding a beast that I personally am not familiar with, a unicorn.
Well, the last I spoke with the goddess, Madrigal claims the beast to be a favorite of hers.
Do you happen to know anything else about it? Do you know any rumors of a unicorn in this area?
It is a beast of the Feywild, I have heard. Perhaps the elves to the north would know more. It walks between our realm and the Feywild as if the barrier between were nothing more than a stepping stone. I have heard that those who are lucky enough to see it have had hope spring from their heart and go on to do great things. I have heard that lesser men have failed in their diligence, we'll say, and found greed and harbor ill will towards the beast, wishing to own it for themselves.
I see. It seems I'm not long for Steepwater then, if I'm to travel to these elves to the north. May I ask for your blessing for the journey ahead?
Oh, of course, young child. Come. And she will, give the ministrations of the temple and then cant a small blessing upon you.
Right. I will take that. I'll thank her for her time. And then I think aside from that, we don't have to roleplay this, but I'm going to go back to the keep and just kind of report in on what's happened and ask for leave to go north and do this other task.
All right, absolutely. You go beseech the Lord of Steepwater to give you leave to go on this quest. Absolutely.
That's all I got. So other people can do their things too.
So, you are all in town. What do you do as you are back for the first time?
I'm gonna go resupply with some. After hanging out in the tavern for a while, once I get a little sick of the kissy show going on, I'm gonna go grab some rations, some torches. I'll have a whole list of shit for you.
Okay, go ahead and write it up.
I think I just hang out in the bar with Belinda, but I'll make arrangements to meet up with Koibs and the rest of the party when we're heading out.
Okay.
I also will show Koibu, Ren, Hugh, and Rock if he's around to the two captured carnies, Tristan and Cohen, who are the two that we sort of rounded up and questioned about the cult.
I guess when we're on...
I write my poetry. Sorry, that's it.
I guess whenever we're on our way to... I guess we would meet up before going to the carnies, right? So I guess we spend this day on our own and then we decide to meet up the next day, maybe? Before seeing them? Yeah.
If you would like, that works for me.
Yeah, works. Does that work? Okay. So I guess this day Ren spends like a little bit at the tavern, then she goes back out, meets with, I don't know if there's a local apothecary or herbalist, that she probably knows quite well, and then restocks some of her healing supplies, get some more walnuts for herself, the usual stuff. Yeah. And I think at the end she'll probably check in on Rook and see how the dogs are doing, if they're fine, if their wounds are healed, and if everything's okay with them. Yeah.
Rook will have avoided town and spends the day at his little cabin on the outskirts, north of town, on the edge of the woods. I assume the dogs are fine.
Yeah, the dogs, they go about their business. They have a doggy door. You set some food out for them. They've been playing around with themselves.
Yeah, one of them was wounded, but I think they will be back to by now.
Ren had given it some medical attention before you left, and you've been gone now for 4 days. So 4 days worth of healing for them.
Cool. So when Ren stops by, I'll get some healing for myself so that I can regain HP at a faster rate.
How convenient, isn't it?
Yeah. And I guess we should strategize about how to find this unicorn. Do you know anything about this creature, Ren? You are a druid of the woods after all.
Yeah, well, it has been a while since I left the elves, but the unicorn I take it is a very popular story with the elves up north, Greg, right? Like if I'm a half elf and one of my parents is from there and I'm from there, I probably have heard from that. Yeah, I'll say unicorns in general they're more mythical, if anything. Usually you don't interact with them too much. You try not to anger them because even though they stand for innocence and hope, they can be quite dangerous. And most people are not pure enough of heart to treat with them,
Well, I believe Magical said this one has been captured. So
that is a very, very grave sin that has been committed then.
In our woods. If I'm correct in believing it's north of here.
Well,
I think we should set out tomorrow. Perhaps see if the elves know any more.
It's been a while since I've been there. Have you met elves before?
In passing, we
right.
often tread the same paths, but they are an elusive and standoffish creatures, and I just failed my circles check. So it has not gone well with the elves.
Legend has it elves and humans were once friends for many years.
And then Rook, with his 6 charisma, committed a major faux pas. And
I don't know. I think it was the one dude who really wanted some eyes. There's this weird story going around. I'm not so sure.
There's a legend about the elven eyes and how they were removed for some necrotic purpose. Don't know the rest of the story though.
Anyways, we can talk to the elves and see if they know anything more, but you know, if they do not welcome us, then we should accept that and probably move on.
Or perhaps speak with the dryad. Rook says questioningly, pulling out this trembling sprig of mistletoe.
If Madrigal sent us on this quest, I'm pretty sure those pointy-eared freaks would let us in and help us out.
You know, you should at least knock on the door instead of just barging in and entering conversations like this. It's nice seeing you, though. Did you leave the tavern? Did you flee the romantic scene? Is that taken?
Yeah, here's your walnuts. Here's
thank you.
30 copper worth of walnuts. Sorry, Rook. Didn't mean to interrupt. I'll just hang out outside until I'm wanted.
Yeah, that's fine. I guess let's get a good night's rest and leave on the morrow.
Yeah, let's pick up the other 2.
And I've got 5. I've got rations, but not enough for everyone. A good torch, some oil, and a tinderbox. And I'm officially broke now, so.
Oh, I'll grab some rations. Is there anything else we need? Because I have some money.
How about rope?
Rope? Yeah.
Yes.
I could do with some rope.
I'm buying some things here as well.
I already got 20 feet of silken rope.
All right, so I'm going to just jut in a little bit here. We're coming up on a break. I've been trying to maybe get a direction before breaking. It sounds like you would like to head away from the town and into the woods, tracking this potential unicorn.
And if we don't know where the unicorn is, going to the elves, I believe, to get more information.
Okay, perfect. Do you have any intention of investigating the Carney further?
The Carneys before
No, in fact, I think Hugo will specifically go and release them from like being held over. So I think
they're cultists.
I thought a handful.
You
of
mean the rest of the Carnies?
Yes, the rest of the. Oh, sorry. I thought that's what you're talking about. The rest of the carnival, he gets leave to go.
Okay, perfect. So that'll happen off screen. If you have any supplies or things you want to buy, prepare for, go ahead and figure that out now. We'll take our break and we'll come back and just go investigate the woods.
Perfect.